1, 2, 3, 4. Nobody watches this anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8. If you want a good show, you're gonna have to wait because this was absolutely abysmal. We're begging for somebody to make wrestling great again. And the last time SmackDown delivered a rating this low, Donald Trump was making America great again. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. A horrible number, an absolutely horrible number, a stinking number in the so-called boom period for wrestling. SmackDown does its lowest rating in almost 8 years. You have to date back to the election night in November 2016 until SmackDown on a Friday night in the same time slot did a lower rating than what they achieved this week, only in their second week into the brand new USA Network deal. What an absolute disaster. We know that in AEW, the only people left watching are the sickles. Well, I think we're getting close to the SmackDown sickles. Never mind the SmackDown 6. We're going to be left with just the SmackDown sickles watching. And no wonder, man. What a horrible show.
Yeah, what a horrible show. Didn't watch it myself, but pure cinema between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. That much pure cinema, it gets the lowest rating in 8 years.
Now, you want to talk about pure anything? We're just finished watching SmackDown for 2003. Hogan and McMahon, what a great promo, building up to the WrestleMania match. McMahon puts out the challenge, Hogan accepts, and it was a promo with passion, a promo with two larger-than-life characters, the fans busting out of their chests. When they said their words, it looked like they absolutely meant it. It looked like two guys that legitimately wanted to kill each other, and we have to go from watching that to watching this. This is a pile of shite.
Yeah, this is a pile of shite. McMahon, Hogan. See, it doesn't matter, man, about... See, in-ring work, Hogan and McMahon in 2003... I mean, maybe McMahon's at the best in-ring period of his career, but fucking Hogan never had one anyway. It's like, who cares, man?
I just refuse to accept that we've went for Hogan and McMahon to DIY. And the sad thing is, there's so many... See out the current people that still watch wrestling? They would put DIY above McMahon and Hogan.
Yeah, it's tragic.
It's like, what are we doing here? Honestly, man, I just don't get it. But anyway...
How low can we go?
Very low. We're under 1.5 million already, and we're only 2 weeks in to this USA Network deal. People say that Raw does low ratings because it's up against Monday Night Football, and it's the third hour, people tune out. I mean, at this rate, SmackDown's going to be doing even worse. SmackDown's going to be, pretty much level with Raw right now, and if it keeps going the way it's going, if it keeps continuing to put on shit shows and losing these viewers, then, who's to say that Raw won't actually overtake SmackDown and stay in front up until the switch to Netflix? So, look, it's not a surprise to me that Raw is doing better numbers. It's more watchable than SmackDown. Yeah, the third hour does drain away some of the viewers, and it's got the competition on the Monday nights with the NFL, but even with competition, even with the hindrance of a third hour, it's still an easier show, and it's more watching worthy than this crap, man. This was terrible. Let's get into it. This week's SmackDown, Friday the 20th of September 2024, drew 1.494 million. So, yeah, we're under 1.5. Last week was 1.723 million, so we're down 13%. Unlucky for WWE, 13% down. It's 229,000 down. A disastrous rating, and in the key demo, they did a 0.45, which is 18% down from last week's 0.55. And it just goes to show you that last week really was bumped up just because it was the USA Network debut. And I tell you what a poor debut it was. You compare last week's debut to the Fox debut, it's night and day. And last week, they did their 1.7, and I knew it would be lower than that. I'm thinking that 1.7 could be the highest rating that we see SmackDown get for the foreseeable future. Because the way things are going, I think it's only down from here. I don't think we'll see SmackDown. We talk about AEW never hitting 1 million again. It might take something really, really special for SmackDown to ever hit 2 million again. And I get it, WWE, I think they've got more potential. They can bring The Rock back. If Mr. McMahon returned, I'm sure that would do mental numbers. But the way things are going right now, it's going to take something that WWE currently don't have going on for this show to get back over 2 million.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait to Mania season. You're going to have to wait. But then,
it's going to take The Rock.
With the new Netflix deal, Raw's going to get everybody. Worth a damn. SmackDown goes to 3 hours. Look how slow the rating is on a 2-hour edition of SmackDown. Imagine it free. Factor in the third hour drop off on top of this. I mean, you're looking at probably like a 1.2 something.
See, in 6 months, I think we're going to be going, oh no, 1.494 was a great rating.
Yep.
Similar to AEW, where you have to accept that the rating is lower. I think in 6 months' time, we could be looking at SmackDown and going, if it gets a 1.3 or a 1.4, it's a decent week.
Yeah.
Because I just expect it to get lower and lower.
I think Fox was giving people a false reading. They were getting over 2 million consistently. I mean, 2.5s, 2.2s, 2.3s, 2.4s. But the reality is, man, we knew this would happen. We predicted it, said it would happen. And now all of a sudden, SmackDown is getting... I'm convinced, man. See when we get into New Year, and especially after WrestleMania next year with 3 hours a day, man, I think SmackDown will go under a mil. That's my prediction.
Under a mil?
In the next 12 months, SmackDown will go under a mil.
Under a mil?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to predict.
Well, that's a bold prediction.
It's the numbers that Jericho thought AEW could have beat Raw and SmackDown with, like 5 years ago.
But here's the crazy thing. See, on the odd week where AEW was getting a 1.1 or 1.2, 1.3, like that is close to this. It's just the AEW.
But that just showed you how much wrestling's regressed in like 4 or 5 years. That SmackDown, that's considered the A show, is now doing AEW numbers from 5 years ago. Well, it'll soon be doing them.
But people would lie and say this is a boom period. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's certainly not a boom period. Like we said, 13% down in the key in the viewership and 18% down in the key demo. So just disastrous numbers all round for SmackDown. And like I said, I think this will be as good as it gets probably going forward for SmackDown. Their days of hitting 2 million, 2.2. And no one pisses me off. The excuses that people make. It's on the USA Network. People don't. You're not going to get as many viewers as you get on Fox. Fucking wise up, man. The USA Network's still available to a lot of people. Back in the day, when WWE Raw was on the USA Network, right, they were still getting they were getting a double, triple what they were getting now. Let's not pretend that these low ratings are because they were on the USA Network, right? And let's take the USA Network out of the equation. Let's not pretend that 2 million, 1.9, 2.1 was good numbers on Fox. Fox were wanting between 3 and 4 million when they signed SmackDown, and you know what? Other than I think 2 shows, they never got above 3. So let's not pretend that they were doing great on Fox. The numbers on Fox were really poor, and they were beginning to drop off. They're not. You could see over the last 6 months, SmackDown went for. I mean, you look at SmackDown a couple of years ago, they were getting 2.4, 2.5, 2.6. SmackDown recently has been getting just over 2 mil, sometimes under 2 mil. So this isn't a case of, well, the ratings are only low because they moved to the USA Network. First of all, the USA Network's still available in a shitload of homes. Second of all, the ratings have been going down for a while, and I think anyone with a brain could see that when they switched to the USA Network, they were obviously going to lose ratings because they were losing ratings on Fox. So if you're losing ratings on Fox, then you're going to a network that has a lower availability than Fox, then of course it's going to go down. This isn't a shock.
No, this is what we expected. We even said that last week.
But I think I did say last week. I think I did say last week it could go under 1.5.
And you're right to a T.
So I mean, hardly surprising. But let's get into the clips then and see what SmackDown delivered. So. Alright, in first place we have Cody Rhodes meeting Roman Reigns at Georgia Tech to broker Bad Blood deal. This got 1.2 million views. And even that, man, that's not that good compared to what we've seen in recent times with Roman Reigns.
No, I totally agree. And you know what? They're forcing this, right? They're trying to make everything between these two cinematic. Just because you film it in cinematic mode doesn't make it pure cinema. You seen what they tried to do with the build up to Mania, man. You had these guys facing off with Rock and Rollins and the whole presser as well.
It was corny as hell.
It was forced.
It was very corny.
You'll see back in the day, man, they could have done stuff like this. I think they did it at a few WrestleMania press conferences with like Austin, Michaels, and Tyson, but it made sense because of Tyson, the boxing element. This is just fucking forced. It's pish.
I don't get it, man. They do these long, boring, cinematic promos, and people automatically think that makes it great. Not for me, but yeah, no surprise that video comes in first place. Second place, we have the full match: Kevin Owens and the Street Profits versus the Bloodline. 646k. Again, not impressive numbers, and people are just not watching SmackDown right now, and they're not checking out the clips. In third place, we have Bayley and Naomi. Both pin Nia Jax in a high-stakes match. Tiffany, I need to face both Bayley and Nia. Oh, no, she is Nia. No, I don't get it. It's like, why did Adam Pearce, by the way, I got 306k views, but why did Adam Pearce then, no, not Pearce, Nick Aldis, he announced that Bayley and Naomi now have to go one-on-one with each other, and the winner takes on that. How's that fair? I mean, that's the stipulation that you thought would have been made before this tag team match. They've had to team up, right, to earn a shot and put their careers on the line just to be told that they both need to face each other to get a one-on-one shot.
Ridiculous.
How do people think that makes sense? The obvious thing here was triple threat.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they didn't want to do a triple threat because it was too obvious, but I would. This is not worth the risk. Why did they both have to team up and win a match with their careers on the line just to have to beat each other again?
I just think...
So basically,
these face authority figures come across as heels.
Nia Jax losing that match, it's not hampered her at all.
Nope.
Nia Jax had a free shot at getting rid of either Bayley or Naomi from the SmackDown roster. To me, that was just dumb as hell.
Tiffany.
Anyway, coming in fourth place, we have Apollo Crews. No, wait, we don't have Kevin Owens in the DIY, so... yeah, just over 300k for those guys. I mean, not a lot happening there. They brawl, DIY make the save. Yeah, is what it is. Fifth place, we have Apollo Crews hands Giovanni Vinci another humiliating loss, 213k. And then in sixth and seventh place, joint, we have LA Knight overcomes Andrade in United States title match, and the Street Profits and Kevin Owens repel the Bloodline. Both of these clips got 207k. Not good numbers for LA Knight, considering that, he kicked off the show, US title match. I mean, people are saying this was a banger, but the numbers certainly aren't banging. When are people going to fucking realise that, just having a flippy fest match, right, with no selling and guys that nobody cares about, right? I kind of do like LA Knight, but Andrade, just boring as hell. People think that having a 20-minute match is somehow massive and it's going to draw and it's great talent. People don't like to watch this. People tune out when this is on. See, if you tell someone you're going to get a 20-minute Andrade match, most people will be like, alright, I'll check back in after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a fucking fact.
Also, I mean, the Bloodline clip, the Street Profits kick off the beginning of the clip.
Yeah, this is some
AEW should be the Bloodline attempt to survive Kevin Owens and Street Profits attack or something. That's what it should be. But they didn't do that, so... Again, diddy numbers.
Yeah, diddy numbers. And then in last place we have... well, that's pretty much it. There's a few exclusives and whatnot, but... Yeah, just... not good. Not good at all. So, I mean, that's it, guys. That's your SmackDown numbers there. That's your SmackDown rating, but... I mean, this show it's going to go downhill for here. Will SmackDown go under 1 million? I don't think so. I can't say it's going to be under 1 million anytime soon. But
I'm expecting Raw to get... I'm expecting, 2013 levels between the brands. So that's what... If it happens the way I think it'll happen, I think they'll go under 1 mil.
You think SmackDown's going under 1 mil?
In the next 12 months, yeah. That's my prediction.
Nah, I don't see that happening. I don't.
Yeah, there's presidential debates coming up.
I mean, that is true. We'll see. I mean, I think they'll drop to about... I mean, I think they will drop into the low 1 millions, but... I mean, to go under 1 million, that would be fucking shocking. But we'll see, because obviously SmackDown's already dropped quite a bit. I mean, if you look at the number... I mean, again, people will say, this, that... I mean, if you look at the last Fox, before they went off Fox, they only did 1.7 something.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of ratings in the past few months under 2 mil as well, so, it's been coming...
They want between 3 and 4, they're doing 1.7.
Well, I mean, I think Fox had given up at that point.
Yeah, I know, but it just shows you. I mean, you're like what? You're like 2 million off what they want you to do.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I think it was obvious. See, like a few months into the deal, Fox are thinking we've overpaid here. You knew that Fox weren't doing this deal again. They weren't going to offer another 5 year deal
You knew with the
at the
premiere
same
episode
price.
on Fox, right? See when you have a star-studded premiere with The Rock, and how many did they do?
I mean, I think that might have been. Did that not do? I think that show did. Was it 4? Or
Yeah,
it was at least it was at least in the threes.
When the best episode they can do does a 3, almost a 4, then they're not going to do it consistently when The Rock disappears. You know what I mean?
Fact is, see if SmackDown was good over the past 5 years, Fox would want to renegotiate another deal.
Yeah, see if it was a boom period, man. Fox would still be there.
Yeah, Fox would be desperate for this wrestling content that's so great, but we know it's not great. We know we're not in a boom period, and we knew a few months into the deal that Fox were sitting there thinking, "What have we paid for?"
See, back in the day, man, wrestling, you would have wanted it on your deal, on your TV channel. The amount of money, the few.
Unless you're WCW, like for some reason.
Ah, yeah, WCW, but it's different though. They were done at the end, but I mean, WWE, man, why wouldn't you want it? See now, man, it's like, hey, look at fucking Tony Khan. He's having to phone up every cunt trying to get a deal. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.